Hi and welcome back. With so many different anime titles to choose from, it can be hard to know where to start. If you're looking for the best anime of 2022, Netflix is a great place to start.
が分かってなんですぐに辞めなかったの？
それが母さんの望みっていうか、夢ってやつ。
それって他人の夢じゃん。いいもの見せてあげる。
Here are the 10 best anime of 2022 that you can watch on Netflix. Number 10. Bastard. Heavy metal, dark fantasy. Anthrax, the god of destruction, shipwrecked the global world and civilized culture in 7 days and was then sealed. Countless years later, Dark Schneider led an ensemble in an attempt to possess the world. Ultimately, Dark Schneider was sealed into the body of a young person named Rush Ren Ren. 15 years ago, the band led by Dark Schneider went back to do their mission to save the world of Metallicana. As a result of the interference of Yoko, Rushi released Dark Schneider from his key. Now, Dark Schneider fights his former comrades, but not for good. He still fights to protect the girl Yoko and to have some good time. Bastard. Heavy metal, dark fantasy has a 6.6 rating in IMDb and a 77% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
怪人と化せ冥界の賢者7つの鍵を持て開け地獄の門
Number 9. Tekken. Bloodline. Jin Kazuma learned the family self-defense art, Kazuma-style traditional martial arts, from his mother at a young age. Even so, he was powerless when a monstrous evil suddenly appeared, destroying everything dear to him, changing his life forever. Angry at himself for being unable to stop it, Jin vowed revenge and sought absolute power to exact it. His journey will lead to the ultimate battle on the world stage, King of Iron Fist Tournament. Tekken. Bloodline has a 6.7 rating in IMDb and a 77% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Closer to defeating Ogre.
Challenge accepted.
Number 8. Vampire in the Garden. Near immortal vampires began rampaging the world a long while back. As the population grew rapidly, the vampires soon sucked humanity off the class scheme of things. Needing a last resort, the remaining humans barricaded a small town by a huge wall to stave off annihilation. There, they have fought against vampires for many years. In the aftermath of the most ferocious assault by vampires, the intrepid Momo comes face to face with Fiyine, the queen of their adversaries. After having witnessed Momo rescue a girl from a rampaging vampire, Fiyine accompanies Momo back to her house. It is in this home where the two establish a connection over the two's love of music and desire to escape the fighting. Following that goal of escaping, they set off to pursue what they believe to be a truly peaceful place to the humans and the vampires. Momo and Fiyine are being targeted by both races, who must get past them in order to achieve their objective intact. Vampire in the Garden has a 6.7 rating in IMDb and a 77% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
約束しよう。二人だけの楽園を作るって。
Number 7. Spriggan. Deep in the Ararat Mountains of northwestern Turkey, a complex known as Arkham may have discovered the location of Noah's Ark. However, a rogue organization of the U.S. Department of Defense called the U.S. Machine Corps wants to take over the Ark for purposes of world supremacy. And only a special Arkham operative known as Spriggan stands in the way. Japanese Spriggan U Omni teams up with French Spriggan Jean-Jacques Mondo to fight members of the U.S. Machine Corps, led by Colonel McDougal, the genetically engineered boy known as Flexi Doom. However, they must halt Flexi Doom before he uses it as his own game plan. Spriggan has a 6.9 rating in IMDb.
You're going to keep it if you're dead.
Because if I'm not true to my word,
Come on, say something!
then I really am no better than a berserker.
Now, you
Number 6. Skeleton Knight in Another World. After the person falls asleep while playing a game, he wakes up and discovers himself transported into the game's fictional world as his in-game character, Ark. He moves quickly to acclimate himself to his new surroundings, quickly realizing that he's using the skeleton avatar he designed when creating his character, which causes him to hide his visage to avoid unwanted attention, Ark visits the neighboring city of Louvierte to try his hand at being an adventurer and take on quests to earn money. With his exceptional abilities, Ark sets off on a grand adventure, traveling various realms, looting various monsters, and assisting people get out of sticky jams. However, his seemingly harmless acts could ultimately open a new spatial conflict that will mark the fate of the world. Skeleton Knight in Another World has a 6.9 rating in IMDb.
強きをくじく無自覚世直しいたします
Number 5. Thermae Romae Novae. Lucius Modestus, a Roman architect, observes problems at his job as a result of lacking inspiration. While he grows miserable, his friends try taking him to a bathhouse to relieve his tension. It proves to be ineffective, and he submerges his head in the water. There, he finds a tunnel that leads him to a modern-day Japanese bathhouse, giving him the inspiration he needed to make a new fantastic invention, loaded with what appears to be knowledge about way before his time. Lucius attempts to recreate his findings, typically inferior in quality due to the circumstances of his day. Nevertheless, the aggregate intelligence may have enough charisma to captivate the citizens that were appalled by his poor social standing. Thermae Romae Novae has a 7.0 rating in IMDb and a 100% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
ノバへ試してみるか気持ちいい
Number 4. Uncle from Another World. After a fatal car crash, Takafumi's uncle lies in a coma for 17 years. When he awakens, Oji-san begins to ramble in a language he doesn't understand and says that he was taken to a magical land called Gran Bahamel. When Takafumi dismisses his uncle's claims as random gibberish, an incantation causes a pot of water to boil. Oji-san and the fellow, in a flash of brilliance, create a YouTube channel to feature Oji-san's fabulous magic. Uncle from Another World has a 7.4 rating in IMDb and a 100% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
待って待ってそんな急に
おじさんがなんかとんでもないことしようとし
Number 3. Kotaro lives alone. One day, Shin Karino is greeted by his new next-door neighbor, 4-year-old Kotaru Satu. Karino notes that Kotaru is a very unusual individual who speaks ever so formally and inhabits a desolate apartment. But Kotaru wears no distress and does not show interest in interacting with anyone else. Feeling sympathetic toward Kotaru's position, Karino decides to follow Kotaru to a bathhouse in case something might happen to him. And there he comes to comprehend the boy is not so different from him. Little by little, Karino, along with the other residents from the apartment complex, grows fond of Kotaru and his antics. At the same time, Kotaru himself may have found something that resembled a family among his own kind. Kotaro Lives Alone has an 8.4 rating in IMDb and a 100% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes. Number 2. Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Follow the story of a young man who feels that he will need to turn into a mercenary to survive in the cruel world of Cyberpunk 2077. Night City is a large American city in California governed by numerous companies, so gang conflicts occur every day. Cyberpunk Edgerunners has an 8.6 rating in IMDb and a 97% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes. Number 1. Spy X Family. A spy unknown as Twilight soon married a municipal employee, adopted a child and dog, and had secrets of his own, his spouse Susanna, an undercover assassin, his teenage daughter Anya, a runaway psychic, and his dog came from a laboratory where he obtained the ability to read minds. These 3 topics ought to be in beneficial communication with one another to make sure their own activities are as risk-free as possible. Spy X Family has a 8.6 rating in IMDb and a 90% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
でもかっこいい嘘つき父と母イチャイチャ
してない
Do you like this video? Check others' videos here and subscribe to be notified about our most recent videos. See you next time. Goodbye.